Welcome back. Let's push aside election stuff for just a second and zoom into some pre-market movers. We're watching shares of Meta on news that has cut 13% of its workforce. And Brad, this news was, I would say it leaked earlier in the week, so maybe not so much of a surprise from a news perspective, but the real interesting thing here is 13% of the workforce. This is huge for a company like Meta, has not undertaken something like this in the past. Some of the numbers I've seen floating around out there, a maneuver like this has Meta looking to potentially cut $4 billion to $5 billion in costs out of his business. And let's keep in mind, we just heard from this company a couple weeks ago when it reported earnings, and they said we're investing double-digit in expenses, double-digit growth in expenses for next year. So really interesting what happened between those couple weeks ago when they reported earnings and today when they're dropping the hammer on a lot of employees.
I think they did classify where those expenses would be going towards, and really towards building out the metaverse, making that a reality, virtual or real, to whatever extent we see that actually come to fruition. And they did, within that call as well, around the earnings, they said that this might mean the reduction or at least the right sizing of some of their headcount and their staff. Now, that headcount was sitting at about 74,000 employees. So this reflects about 11,000 employees. And for the layoffs that we've seen come through over the course of this year, you're talking Twitter recently, 50% of their staff, Robinhood, 23%, Intel, 20% of their staff, Snapchat, 20% of their staff. And so all of this continues. I think the best kind of wording and the best message that you got from any CEO was actually over at Stripe. That actually came off as empathetic. We have the letter from Mark Zuckerberg because they made that public this morning as well.
He sounded not clueless, but he said, I want to take accountability for these decisions and for how we got here. Now, if you do a keyword search on this letter for metaverse, this is still a guy that is going to is betting the bank, betting the future of this company on the metaverse. To me, it didn't sound like any cuts are coming from a platform that is wildly unproven. And that is a major sticking problem with investors. How much Zuckerberg is investing in the metaverse. These cuts appear to be coming from everywhere else but the metaverse.